Despite the elevated risk facing the U.S. as a result of the war, some Republicans, including the former chair of the Homeland Security Committee, didn't want to talk about that when FBI Director Christopher Wray testified there this week about various dangers facing the nation, including China and fentanyl. Instead, Senator Ron Johnson wanted to talk about Hunter Biden.
There appears to be an effort within the Justice Department and FBI to shut down investigative activity relating to the Biden family. Such decisions point to significant political bias infecting the decision-making of not only the Attorney General and FBI Director, but also line agents and prosecutors. Our republic cannot survive such a political infection, and you have an obligation to this country to clear the air.
Remember, Chris Wray's a lifelong Republican, all right, and he had this response.
I see an FBI every day that conducts themselves with integrity and professionalism and selflessness and rigor. And I do not accept the characterization of our performance in this particular case.
That is not how I characterized it. I'm talking about partisanship at the top with some specific partisan actors. I said the vast majority of the 38,000 are people of integrity.
And the idea that I, as a Republican appointee and a lifelong Republican, am biased in the way that you are describing makes absolutely no sense.
Scottie, I don't get this near obsession with this two-tiered system. I mean, literally, these days, anytime I have a Republican on and we talk about the FBI, they talk about the two-tiered system of justice. And I go through all the Democrats that the FBI has gone after in the last 2 years, right? Former congressman from California, the head of the Louisiana Democratic Party, Andrew Gillum, Bob Menendez, Eric Adams.
Now the mayor of New York.
Right, the mayor of New York. Right. I mean, and it's like none of it resonates. It's still this like ingrained thing. It has to be that the Republican-led FBI is biased against Republicans.
Well, as long as there is Trump on our agenda and you have 12 cameras on him every move he makes in every courtroom, that's what it's going to be. But I do agree with you. This is not what the Republicans in the Senate should be focused on right now in regards to having Chris Wray in front of them. We have an open border. You can't talk to me about that you want to fight terrorism and you're worried about terrorism in the United States when we have a border down south that both Republicans and Democrats agree we have an issue with. I mean, we're just talking this past year, 2.2 million people have crossed. 151 of them were on the terrorist watch list. So that's Republicans right now need to focus what's important. Most people understand the Hunter Biden issue. Let it play out in the process. But until you get all the cameras focused on them like you have on Trump, you're going to continue to have that conversation.
It's worse than just criticizing the FBI. Many of these Republicans are trying to defund the FBI.
Yeah.
They're trying to slash the budget for the FBI. Meanwhile, 380% increase in anti-Semitic hate crimes in the United States. I work at Cornell University. We just had a student who made death threats against other students. First call that the university made, guess what? FBI.
Yeah.
Right.
FBI is deploying all over the country to try and stop these hate crimes, keep people safe. The answer to this is not to criticize the FBI and defund the FBI.
Well, I would think particularly right now, there would be like a pause, so to speak, right? In the attacks on the FBI. That Chris Wray's coming in there. He's talking about the literally elevated threat at home because of what's happening. He's talking about China. He's talking about fentanyl. And Ron Johnson wants to talk about Hunter Biden.
Well, unfortunately, each side continues to have their own echo chamber, right? But we were talking before the show about our teenage kids that are looking to go to college in the next couple of years. And you talk about Cornell. You talk about some other universities. I went to one of them. Believe it or not, Dan, you're surprised.
Yeah.
Stanford University,
Yes.
where some of these places are having serious issues, but also affecting what's going on for our kids, affecting what's going on campuses. This is becoming a much bigger issue than just what's going on overseas, what's going on with the FBI.
Look, I'm scared. I'm scared for our kids, right? That's sort of one issue. I'm scared about what's happening on college campuses. But I'm also scared about literally, I think there's going, I don't want to say I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm truly fearful of terrorism at home in the near future. And I'm counting on the FBI to protect us.
And you're not alone. This past week I was in the grocery store and in two different places, and I promise you this, they were talking about this idea that Hezbollah and all these terrorist groups had cells here in Tennessee, of all places. Once again, when people in the grassroots are talking about it, you know that it's getting effective. People, I mean, it's one thing, Dan, you're in the news to be fearful because you know what's going on.
Right.
But people are paying attention to this, and Republicans need to pay attention to what the grassroots are actually caring about right now.
And what are they? What is that?
And that that is right now they are in fear. They are in fear that this is going to happen somewhere in their community. It's one of those that when you have these threats being repeated multiple times by Hamas leaders, by Hezbollah leaders, then they do fear like that this could happen in small town Ohio, small town Florida, that something could result. And when you're seeing deployment of our own National Guard troops, our own reserves that are heading over to Israel, they're seeing the signs that this could actually be escalating into a major war that at some point could be brought here.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.